Hey guys, I am gonna do a very quick tag video because I'm kind of just doing a few videos and I just fancied, doing something a bit lighter and a bit funnier and, I hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so this is the music tag. I have seen one of my favourite ASMR artists, Ephemeral Rift, do it. And it's amazing and you should totally go check it out, and if I remember to do it I will tag the video in the description of this so you can go and watch it because it is fantastic. Okay, so here are 23 music questions. Question 1. The Beatles or the Stones? It's a bit of a difficult one, this, because as someone British, I should say the Beatles, but I enjoy the Stones more. But I do like a couple of the Beatles songs, so I will have to say the Beatles. Okay, I do like the Rolling Stones though as well. So, okay. Question 2: Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin? Pink Floyd, but I do really love Led Zeppelin's Kashmir. I think that's one of the greatest rock songs ever done. And I'm not a huge rock music fan, but every time that comes on, I love that song a lot. But yeah, still Pink Floyd. Dark Side of the Moon is a classic. Yeah. Okay, question 3. First album you ever bought? I don't remember, which I'm sure makes me a terrible person. I remember a lot of kind of insipid pop albums when I was a kid, but nothing that it was usually like bought for me for like Christmas or whatever. Oh, okay. I have a really embarrassing first ever, like, I would say CD, but it was a tape, because I'm old enough now that used to sell cassette tapes. And it's embarrassing, kind of, but now I love the song, like, unapologetically so much that I don't really mind. The song was Stronger by Britney Spears, which to this day is still a kind of massive pop kind of banger, and I love it a lot. So yeah, that was the first ever single that I ever bought, but I don't remember the album. I really don't, because like I said, as a kid you get like CDs bought of you and that sort of thing, and I had a very kind of pop-centered childhood, so yeah, I won't be able to name any one specific album. Number 4, favourite album of all time. I can't really name this because there are certain albums that I love for different reasons, but equally. So there are some big, brilliant kind of pop albums. There are some like ambient albums, some rock albums, and I can't decide. I really can't. So yeah, it's a really tricky one, but yeah, for that reason, I'm just gonna have to. I think okay, because I can probably do like the Desert Island Discs, which for those of you who aren't in the UK or just don't know about it, Desert Island Discs is a radio program that's been on for 50, 60 years, and which they get celebrities on, and they talk about their lives and the music that's inspired them, and they get to choose 8 tracks to take with them to a theoretical desert island. But then they have to decide at the end which one of the 8 they would save if they were all getting swept out to sea, and that's kind of their most treasured song. So I could probably do that, but in terms of album stuff, no, because I don't think there's an album where I'm like, yes, I love every single song equally, or every single song was quite strong or enjoyable, that sort of thing. I don't think I've run into an album like that, or not one that I'd be able to be like, yes, this is my definitive favourite album. So, no, sorry about that. But I do love stuff like Marine in the Diamonds and Grimes and John C. And yeah, I have quite a weird, eclectic musical taste. Okay. Question 5. Do you play any instruments? I wish. I really wish more than anything that I could play the piano. Because one of my best friends, he is not like concert grip. Well, he probably is. He's a genius at it, but he's never gone like super professional with it. He's really good, and I'm always really jealous because he can just bust out these beautiful songs and all that sort of thing. So it's one of my little life goals to play this one very short song on the piano. So yeah, that's something I want to do in the future. But no, I don't play anything. My dad and my brother are able to play the drums, but no, I don't. No. Number 6. In your mind, whilst playing this instrument, do you pretend to be anyone? I think that's kind of answered by the fact I don't play an instrument. No, sorry. Question 7. On the scale of 1 to 10, how cool do you think Iggy Pop is or was? Well, I've never really had much of an opinion on him to begin with, but all I will say is in the UK he has done a series of very cheesy insurance adverts or commercials that are just they're very, very cheesy, so it's kind of gone down a bit. My estimation for him, I've got friends who love him and think he's the best, but he doesn't really do anything for me. So, sorry. I really thought it was going to be more interesting. Question 8. If you had to be a groupie, roadie of any band, who would it be? So you'd want a band that's like interesting. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Okay, so if I was going to be, I'm going to change this a bit. So it's band or artist. If I was going to be a roadie or a groupie of a band or artist for the fun, it would probably be someone like Rihanna, who I think probably has the best time on tour because she just looks like she doesn't give a damn about anything, and that's the kind of life that I would really like to see happen, even if it's just as a roadie. Band, maybe for the drama Fleetwood Mac, because back in the 70s when they were all, when drama was kind of afoot, really, it would have been interesting to see it from someone close up. Question 9. When did you last air guitar? I last air guitared last weekend, very unsuccessfully on the dance floor at a wedding between two of my close friends. And I was not sober, and yeah, it was suitably mortifying, but when someone plays like 80s rock, you've got to try it. Oh, people were way better than me anyway. Question 10. When did you last dance on your own like an idiot? I do this every day. This is not like a rare occurrence for me. I will dance if there's no music playing and I've got a song stuck in my head. I'll do it at work. I'll do it in the bus queue. It really doesn't stop me. I think if you're really enjoying a song, then you want to dance, just have a little shoulder shimmy, have a little jig. It really won't harm anybody. No one's going to be offended that you're like having a good time. They might give you a weird look or something, but that's because they kind of wish they want to do it too. So I will say every day. It's a daily It's a daily habit or a ritual. Question 11. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good at dance are you? I'm gonna say maybe like a 7. I mean, I don't look like I'd be a good dancer, but I've had people kind of consistently say, "Wow, you're a pretty good dancer." But I think that's more down to the fact that I just I think that we dance as a way of like expressing ourselves and everything, and when I dance, it's a nice way to get out of my own head for a bit, and so I just kind of let loose and yeah. Question 12. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good a dancer do you think you are when you're wasted? Well, I'm an extraordinary dancer when I'm wasted because my kind of bar of not giving a damn is lowered so much that at the wedding last weekend I literally had 30 seconds between the couple's first dance and the 80s megamix coming on, and as soon as the 80s megamix started clearing up, I just turned to everyone at the table and I was like, "We're dancing, let's do this!" And I just, yeah, so I think I'm a good dancer. I mean, my body aches the next day. I woke up the next day in not agony, but I was aching, and my knee is still twinging a bit because I kind of overdanced. Um, so yeah, I think I'm pretty good. I'm pretty enthusiastic, and I don't give a damn. And yeah, people seem to enjoy that. Question 13: best gig you've ever been to? Well, I saw Imogen Heap a few years ago, and she was incredible. And I'm a huge fan of hers. I've got a lot of respect for her as someone who, writes her own music, sings it, records it. She sounds just as good live as she does on her record, which I think is the sign of someone who actually can sing if they sound fantastic both live and recorded. Yeah, she was probably the best, and it was quite arty, fun, enjoyable stuff. I also got to see Marina and the Diamonds, and that was probably the most fun I've had like a pop gig because everyone was just singing along, and it was it was a lot of fun, and I got to go see her as a student at uni. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And if she ever comes back to my hometown, then I really do want to see her perform live again. Question 14. Not really a question. I just think you should reconsider your answer if you didn't put at least 10 for number 7. I'm really not going to put 10. Number 7's the icky pop question. I'm like, I don't have an opinion on him. Not even to be like mean or anything. I'm just like, no. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but he just doesn't mean anything to me. No. Question 15. Do you share any musical tastes with your parents? Does it put you off when they like the same music you do? Okay, I'm just going to take this in 2 parts. So, do you share any musical tastes with your parents? More and more as I get older, which is kind of a surprise, but I mean an enjoyable one. But yeah, so I grew up with very different kind of musical tastes to my mum and dad. But then once I started exploring the wider, range of music out there, I found that I liked quite a lot of it. So I'll give you an example from each. So with my dad, and me and my dad are very, very different. We get on now way better than we did when I was a teenager. But it's like I used to think he was just this big kind of, oh, I'm only ever going to listen to like Queen and all that sort of thing. And Queen's awesome. It's great. But then I don't listen to it all the time. So I was really surprised when he said, oh, I'm a big Fleetwood Mac fan. Because I'd only just started listening to them really. And I'm not going to say I'm like a super fan or anything, but I really love a lot of their songs and I really enjoy a lot of their work because you can take it as rock music, you can take it as pop music, you can take it as like easy listening in some cases. It's very experimental stuff, and I love it, and I get a real enjoyment out of being able to connect with my dad about it. My mum, on the other hand, she's someone who actually really enjoys a lot of modern music, and so she knows the songs from the radio, and she enjoys a fair few songs. Not all of them, but But I found that a lot of her kind of taste for kind of seventies kind of soul music, or 70s disco, or 80s, that sort of thing, that's starting to rub off on me a bit now, because I'm hearing it more and more as I go through life. I'm hearing it more often, and I'm like, okay, this is actually a pretty good song. Because when you're a teenager, you kind of dismiss it as being cheesy and crap, and I'm not going to listen to this again. And then when you listen to it as an adult, if you're on volition, you're like, wow, this is actually a really good song. I get it, and I think that's good. I think you're completely allowed to explore it as an adult and reject it previously as a teenager, because as a teenager you're all about exploring new stuff in yourself, whereas when you're an adult you've gone through puberty, which is awful. It's an awful experience, and you're kind of a bit more secure in yourself, and you're not as kind of I guess not exactly self-loathing, but you're very not at all confident in yourself. So yeah. What was the second part to that question? Does it put you off when they like the same music you do? No. I get really excited. I'm like, oh, I'm going to introduce you to this, and we can listen to this and that kind of album and that sort of thing. I really don't mind. I really enjoy it. I mean, it'd be a bit weird going to like a concert with them. It'd be a bit strange doing that, but no, I wouldn't. No, I really wouldn't mind. I'd be like, yeah, come on, more the merrier. You're supposed to share stuff, and it's supposed to be an awesome experience, connecting. So yeah, I would not mind at all. Question 16. 3 favourite genres of music. I don't know. I mean, I have a really eclectic taste, which I know everyone says that, but it's actually true. I mean, my biggest one is pop. I'm a big pop music fan. I love, like pop music from decades ago. I love modern pop music. Yeah, and I've really become to embrace it, because a lot of people actually are like, oh, pop music's really cheesy and mainstream and dull and this and that. And I just embrace it now. I love it. I really do. Okay, 2 other favourite genres of music. I'm just going to pick 2 that I've been listening to recently. One of them is kind of ambient, which I know people think, oh, ambient is really boring. I'm like, no. Like, if you actually listen to it, and it's just this chilled, gorgeous. You think it'd be kind of chilly, but it's actually really warm, and just it's perfect music to kind of float away to, or when you're meditating or that sort of thing, or if you need like a gorgeous kind of soundscape to either pick you up or be a nice soundtrack on the way home. It's such a wide range of stuff that I love it. As a subgenre, there's stuff like like there's ambient, there's dark ambient, which is awesome because it's yeah. I can't really describe it. It's amazing though. Another genre I really like. I'm going to be really boring here and say what they call alternative. So I really like the kind of weirder stuff at the moment. I think because it's quite cold outside, and I'm just enjoying the kind of the unusual, like musical sounds going on. Yeah, and I love being able to kind of dig around on like Spotify or iTunes or whatever, and just or Bandcamp or whatever, and just find all these new artists. That's what I love more than anything. So yeah, an alternative is quite a broad genre anyway. So it can go quite dark and acoustic, or it can go quite light and acoustic, or very dark and electronic, light electronic, and on literally everything in between, and all of it, or none of it. And yeah, I love it. So pop, ambient, alternative. But yeah, I love practically every other genre of music as well. So yeah, it's kind of a hard question. Question 17. Which decade do you wish you'd grown up in so you could have lived through that genre, through that generation of music? Maybe the 80s? I have a feeling like the 80s would have been kind of fun to listen to, particularly because a lot of my favourite kind of modern pop music is so heavily inspired by the 80s. Like with all that kind of dramatic, like the New Romantics, and all the proper dramatic synthesizers and that sort of thing. But then I love a lot of the kind of 70s soul and funk, and I don't know, 70s, 80s maybe. But then I really love modern pop music because it changes and it's always adapting, and there's always different sounds and all that sort of thing. So if I had to pick, I'd probably stay in the modern day because you've got such a wide range of music you can listen to. But I don't know. Question 18. Favourite guilty pleasure music? Well, it used to be pop music, but then someone did a great article that said why you shouldn't believe in guilty pleasures anymore and you should just enjoy it and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I'll go with guilty pleasure. I suppose guilty pleasure. It might be like the odd artist who you think, oh no, they're awful, that sort of thing, but then they've got that one song and you're like, damn it, that song's really good and it's really catchy and it's in my headphones now. And it's stuck in my brain and I just can't. Yeah, I can't stop humming it or singing it or that sort of thing. So I would say technically pop music, given that I'm a 20-something and and society dictates I should be listening to lots of very, very, boring stuff or mature stuff, and I'm like, no, sometimes I just like a silly pop song that doesn't have to mean anything, but it makes me smile. So, yeah. Question 19. You can tell I'm running out of inspiration, so now can't you? Fuck it. If you had to choose a song to listen to forever, what would it be? Okay. So this is like the Desert Island Disc question. If I had to pick a song, it would be probably Can You Feel It by the Jacksons, which remains to this day it probably is my favourite song. And it's really weird that I didn't listen to it as a kid. Well, I saw it once as a kid and I just had no idea what it was. I remember seeing the video where they spread their hands and the rainbow comes out and they're giants and they're basically saving the world and everything. And I think it had such a huge impact on me. And I couldn't remember the song because I saw it so young. And then I went 15 years without seeing it again. And then it popped up on VH1 randomly. And I was like, what the hell's this? And my mum's like, oh, it's the Jacksons. Can you feel it? Because she's a huge, huge, huge Michael Jackson fan. So of course she knows this song and she loves it. And she introduced it to me. And it's amazing. It's kind of this optimistic, bring the world together dance song that's funky and joyous, and it's amazing that everyone in my family loves it, or at least likes it, and that's kind of why it's always my favourite song because I have really, really hugely positive memories to it. So yeah, that is my one song to listen to. Question 20: do you write music? If so, why? I've tried. So I will which I know sounds really daft, but I will sometimes sing my own lyrics to the beat of someone else's song, and that might cause something to happen. There's the odd kind of pieces of songs that I've got stored on Google Drive or tablets or phones or that sort of thing, but nothing to actually make a song because I honestly cannot sing. I can't sing. I can't play an instrument. I can't produce. I think the other thing I could potentially be alright at is if someone had the beat, I could probably work on doing some song lyrics, maybe. But that would take years because the people who really know how to do it, the proper kind of songwriters, they take years to really kind of hone their craft for a good song? If so, why? I just do it for fun, and sometimes an idea will just get stuck in my head, and it might just be like a sentence or something that's like da 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 da, and it just I like it, I guess. Yeah. Okay. We're near the end. Don't worry. Question 21. Do you still buy music? What are your thoughts on downloading? I'm gonna guess this question means like, do you still physically buy music rather than do you still buy music in like the broader sense rather than like stealing it? Which I would never do. How dare you? Yeah, I still like CDs. I know I'm really dull, but I love having a physical copy of a CD. Not only because I actually just like having it, I like having an actual collection of CDs, but there's a little paranoid part of me that thinks if I lose my music, at least I've got it as a disc, which I know is really silly, and I always back my music up and everything. But yeah, what are your thoughts on downloading? I like downloading. I download pretty much 90% of my music from various outlets. Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, I have some slight issues with the streaming thing because it means artists aren't really getting paid and it's kind of affecting the music industry, but that's kind of something not really appropriate for an ASMR video. Okay, question 22. Favourite guitar solo? I don't know. I don't, well, okay, I'm just going to go with this because it's easy and I know I do love it. Is the solo in Led Zeppelin's Kashmir. That I do. Yeah, I do. I really, truly do enjoy that song, and I think it's a great kind of pump up song. It's quite enthusiastic and quite kind of, yeah, ready to go, adrenaline fueled. Okay, last one. Question 23. Which song would you karaoke to? Oh, okay. I hate karaoke just because I know I am a terrible singer, which I know isn't the point because, yeah, no one actually. It's always the people who can sing that are like, yeah, let's do karaoke. And you just sat in the back thinking, yeah, because you know you can sing. You know that when you go up onto the stage, you'll be like, oh no, I can't sing, not really. And then you launch into a fantastic rendition of a song. You're making everyone else look terrible. It's not to say they aren't terrible, but you will make them kind of worse. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd probably go with something really easy that I can't mess up, and nothing too like vocally challenging. I guess. I mean, because I would just kind of sing talk it. So I would. Ooh, probably something like ABBA, if only because everyone knows ABBA. Everyone likes at least one ABBA song. So at least that way you'd probably get the rest, everyone else cheering in and kind of singing along and that sort of thing. And to be honest, if I was doing karaoke, I would probably refuse to do it if my friends were doing it at the same time. So I could probably just let my voice kind of get drowned out with everyone else's. Yeah, so something by ABBA. Maybe my favourite ABBA song, which is "Lay All Your Love on Me." But yeah, just thought I'd throw that tidbit in there. Yes, so thank you for listening. This has been a very, very kind of disjointed, floating music tag video. I hope it's helped you relax, or if it's helped you kind of think about music, what kind of music you like, and what your favourite song in the world is, or whether or not guilty pleasures should actually still be a thing. If you enjoy something, maybe you should just like enjoy it. And people who are like, oh, you can't enjoy that, you're da da da. I'm just thinking, well, you totally can enjoy it. If you like a certain kind of music, you don't have to justify that to anybody. You don't have to defend it. You can just enjoy it. So, anyway, thank you for listening. I hope this has helped you relax in some small way. Yeah. Okay. Right. I am going to say goodnight to you guys. Okay. Alright, good night. Bye.